Alright everyone, welcome to the first official moderately interesting Monday. Or just mildly interesting Monday. Now let me just go on record and say I like guns and I want to know more about them. That's why I started this series, but I am in no way an expert and the research I've done for this is minimal. At least, very minimal. But today we're going to be looking at the Shire AUG or the STG77. This is the first variant of it. The A1. For its time, this gun was revolutionary. A lot of the technologies were at that time had been implemented and tried on different guns, but this was the first gun to have a unique design and a lot of unique features, and just wasn't a product of its era, but it actually had foresight into the future of guns. So before we get to that, this is the A3 model. And the whole reason that the Austrian military wanted to move towards the AUG and the development of the AUG is because they were tired of using the 6.2 or the 7.62 round, and they wanted to move towards the 5.56, and that's what this would be. This AUG uses its own proprietary magazines, but with the A3 model, it can actually be modified to accept M4 magazines, same things that you'd use in an M16 or an M4 or any variant of that gun, because they all use the same magazine, and so that way it could be used in NATO, since they have a large surplus of that. Before the AUG was developed, Austria was using a variant of the FAL, which used 7.62, large, heavy, off the shoulder, very large gun as you can see, not short on power by any means, but they wanted to modernize. Now, with a bullpup design, it goes without saying that it makes it a lot more complicated and costly to produce. The body of the gun, at least, is being produced with polymer. It's lighter, and after the tooling is put in place, it's cheaper to produce than even stamped steel. There's tons of other benefits and downsides using polymer, but it was a product of its era. It started development in 1977, and it went into production by 1978. So the reason the Austrian military had chosen this design is because it would allow them to have a much smaller gun with a lot of benefits of having a longer gun. So the A1 actually has a 20-inch barrel, not 16, 20. They have a 20-inch barrel in a package that's similar or even smaller than most weapons of that era, especially the gun that they were moving away from. With that, they were able to implement a couple other technologies in it. This gun does have a bolt lock to signal when the firearm is done, but it also has a bolt catch in case, for whatever reason, you wanted to have the bolt open, probably for clearing reasons. But on top of that, the most interesting part of this weapon is its trigger system. So this is a semi-auto and full auto weapon, but there's only one safety selector, because the trigger, although not new, was implemented very well. It has a very unique feature. I'll put this on safe real quick, so that when you pull the trigger back halfway or part of the way, it would fire a single shot and would not fire anymore. But let's say there's a couple guys in front of you and you really needed to put some fire down, you'd pull the trigger back all the way and it would go into full auto. So you're trying to pick off targets at a long range, you're gonna take a couple shots, but oh no, the enemy's moving up, they've presented a better target, or what, for whatever reason, you were able to fire it in full auto. On top of that, it has an integrated scope. That also helped with the design. The original A1 variant, actually, the scope is molded into it, I'm guessing for manufacturing cost, although not, again, the first gun to have an integrated optic, but one of the first guns to do it well. As you can see, the optic is 1.5 magnification, and a very interesting aperture. It has a little ring in the middle. A lot of people refer to that as the donut of death. Also in real life, it's very easy to exchange the barrels. I remember watching Forgotten Weapons, and but I forgot how he did it. I'm pretty sure it's some mechanism up here that you would undo, and the whole barrel assembly would come out for you to hot swap a new one in, or just for basic maintenance. So let's finish off that mag. As you can see, it has a bolt lock. So let's say you were shooting at a target. You're trying to get accurate shots on target within the black, but oh no, you went and you bumped your scope into a wall, and now you're afraid it may not be accurate. It actually has backup iron sights on the top of it, just in case you ever need them. Oh wow, last hit was a 10. So personally, I think the gun's design is excellent. Whoops. The gun's design is excellent. Besides the FAMAS, this and the FAMAS are some of the best bullpups that you can ever use. Alright, so here's all the rounds I put on target using both the A3 and the A1. As you can see, this was at 10 meters, this grouping right here. This was 30, and the rest of the stray bullet holes, I couldn't tell you where they were coming from. But let's go see how this would fare in a tactical situation. Let's say you're in a tactical situation and all you have is YOG. Let's see how you would fare.